Hey, so welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Michael. I'm a relationship and recovery coach. I help guys, families overcome pornography addiction and unwanted sexual behavior. And today I want to talk about a topic that feels kind of basic, but it's really important, and that's identifying if you actually have a pornography addiction. Now, it's something a lot of people struggle with, but it can be hard to know if your pornography use qualifies as an addiction. And the reason that's important is because if it's not, there's problematic behavior, and we treat that a little differently. If it's an addiction, that requires some more significant help. Now, this is important because most everybody that reaches out to me says something like, I need help with an addiction. They've already labeled it that before they come talk to me. And then they go on to tell me about what's going on. And while, again, any pornography use is problematic, not all porn use qualifies as an addiction. So in today's video, we're going to walk through 6 key signs that can really help you identify if you have a pornography addiction, where to get started if you're looking for help. Real quick before we jump in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this that helps you navigate tough topics like mental health, relationships, addiction, specifically in the area of pornography and unwanted sexual behavior. Also, make sure to check out the links in the description. Any tools and things like that I share in the video, I'll post down there so you can grab those. The first sign of a pornography addiction is loss of control. And this is where you find yourself using pornography even when you don't want to. And maybe you've tried to cut back or stop altogether, but you just can't. One of my favorite authors, Sam Jolman, describes this as compulsive behavior, something you feel driven to even when you know it's not really serving you. If you've lost control over yourself and it feels like it's ruining your life, that's a red flag. Sign number 2 is escalation. This means that your pornography use is increasing over time, both in how often you use it and the intensity of the content that you're seeking. The brain's reward system gets hijacked, talking about dopamine, and over time you need more and more extreme content to get that same dopamine hit. So if you're noticing that you're watching more frequently or looking for more intense material, that's a pretty good sign that addiction has taken hold and you need to reach out for some help. All right, sign 3 is you're using pornography to cope with emotions. This is when you're using pornography not just for entertainment, but as a way to cope with stress or loneliness or difficult emotions. It's important to know that addiction is often tied to our deeper emotional wounds. So if you find that you're turning to pornography when you feel anxious, sad, or rejected, it's usually a sign that the behavior shifted from casual use to addiction. Okay, sign 4. Negative impact on relationships. Your pornography use is starting to have a negative impact on your life and relationships. And maybe it's causing distance between you and your partner, or maybe you're avoiding social situations because of the shame that it causes. Again, addiction isolates us and makes it harder for us to connect with others emotionally. So if you're noticing that your relationships or daily responsibilities are suffering, it's an indicator that pornography has become an addiction. When I say disrupting your normal responsibilities, I'm talking about it's a part of like everything you do. So when you wake up in the morning, it's a part of your morning routine. You go to work, it's a part of you being at your office or at work. You come home in the evening, it's a part of your routine of being home in the evening. The 5th sign of addiction is shame and secrecy. Do you hide your pornography use from others? That's a pretty big sign. Do you feel guilty or ashamed after using it, but then find yourself coming back to it anyway? This is part of the addiction cycle. You feel ashamed, so you hide it, which only fuels the addiction because you're hiding a secret. If you're caught in this loop of secrecy and shame, it's a sign that you're dealing with more than just casual use. And finally, sign number 6 is assessment tools. There's a great assessment tool I like to use called the SASTR. It's designed to help you assess whether your pornography use has crossed into addiction. I've linked it in the description below, so if you're not sure, take a few minutes and check out that assessment. It can really help you understand where you're at. So remember, the important thing to know about all this is if you're seeing yourself in sort of these signs, and this is you, this is where you're at, the most important thing that you can do is to not dump more shame on yourself, but to ask for help, seeking help. All of life is relational. We're wounded in relationship, we're healed in relationship. So if you notice that this is you and you take the assessment and you go, oh gosh, I've definitely got a problem, well, reach out to somebody and ask for help. Remember, recognizing these signs is the first step toward getting that help that you need. Addiction is treatable. There are resources out there to support you, like this one. If you think you're struggling, you don't have to go through this alone. Maybe your next step is to reach out to me for coaching. I've helped a bunch of guys over the years really get free from this and make significant progress. And here's what's specific that I do. It's not just about quitting the behavior. It's helping you move toward relational, emotional, spiritual, and sexual health. That way you live into the fullest of who God called you and created you to be. And it's not just about, oh, well, I don't do that thing anymore. I'm healthy. Remember, the first step toward recovery is awareness. You can do this, and I'll see you in the next video.